We're making gluten-free chicken Florentine today, and our family loves this recipe. It's a great way to hide a whole bunch of spinach into the dish, and your kids will never know. The white sauce for chicken Florentine is pretty simple. It's a lot like the other white sauces we've made. So we're going to start with some butter and gluten-free flour. We've got some onions and garlic, and then 4 cups of almond milk we're using today. And then we're going to add in some Dijon mustard and some nutmeg. I'm not using ricotta today. We're going to substitute with a bit of Greek yogurt and some mozzarella cheese. So let's get our chicken poaching, and then we'll start building our sauce. All right, so I've been asked a couple of times how I poach my chicken breasts when I'm doing recipes like this. And this is generally what I do. I've got a couple tablespoons of kosher salt, some bay leaves, and some peppercorns. And this is dry thyme, since that'll go well with what we're doing. And I'll add that to our boiling water. Just remember that the amount of salt you're going to use is in relationship to the water, not the amount of chicken breasts that you've got going into the water. And then we're also going to throw in some onions and some carrots. That's for flavor, but in this recipe, the carrots are also going to be used in the sauce. So they're a little multi-purpose. And then I put in my chicken breasts. In this case, I'm doing frozen. So they're going to cook for somewhere around 45 minutes until they're thoroughly done and very tender. If you're doing fresh, probably looking at around 25 minutes. So we'll wait till this comes back up to a boil. We'll just check it periodically until I know they're done with the thermometer, but it's going to be somewhere around 45 minutes. So with our butter melting, we're going to add in a small diced onion and saute them until translucent. And with our onions soft, now we'll add in our garlic. And with our onions just starting to take some color, we'll add in our flour. And we're going to mix this until the flour has absorbed all the butter and starts to form a roux. And once your roux has had an opportunity to cook a little bit, we'll add in our milk. You'll want to make sure that this is cold. We're going to start by adding just a little bit and mix it until our roux has absorbed it, and then we'll add a little bit more. All right, and once this is absorbed about half your milk, you can add in the remaining amount. We'll let this come up to a simmer, and then we can continue. Okay, and while we're waiting for our sauce to come up to a simmer, I'm going to pull out our chicken breasts. They've been poaching for about 45 minutes. And I'm also going to pull out these carrots, since we're going to put them into our sauce. And if you need a point of reference for the temperature on the chicken after you're done poaching, you're looking for anything over 180 degrees. So here I've gotten up to about 200, which is just great. Okay, and with our sauce coming up to a simmer now, we're going to add in our spinach. If your spinach isn't baby spinach or isn't already destemmed, you'll want to do that because the stems aren't going to wilt very well when we add it to the hot sauce. And once your spinach is mostly wilted, you can turn off the heat, and then we'll add in our mashed carrots from poaching the chicken, a pinch of nutmeg, and a couple tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Now that our sauce has cooled down a little bit, we're going to add in our yogurt and cheese. You could be adding ricotta here, or you could use cottage cheese as well. And with our sauce done, we'll give it one final taste for salt and pepper. Before we can begin assembly, we'll prep our chicken and our noodles. My noodles need to be soaked in hot water for 10 minutes. And while these are soaking, we can cut up our chicken. And on our chicken, we're looking for about a 1/4 inch dice. To build our chicken Florentine, we're going to start by putting down a layer of sauce, and then a couple of our noodles and chicken. And we're going to repeat that process 3 times until we're all done, and then we will top with some cheese. So we'll get a couple of shots along the way here. All right, and with our layers of sauce, noodles, and chicken done, we're now going to top with some mozzarella cheese. All right, right, and with our cheese done, we're going to put this on a baking sheet. It's going to go into a 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes, covered with aluminum foil, and then another 15 minutes to brown the cheese. But as luck would have it, I don't have enough aluminum foil left. So we're going to use a piece of parchment paper on top and then cover it with another baking sheet. And that will suffice, and we'll be back in about an hour. All right, and here it is after about an hour in the oven, 15 minutes with the sheet pan off, and just finished it with a broiler to brown the cheese. So we're gonna pull some out and cool it now. And here's my portion. We're serving with some broccoli, but there is a ton of vegetables in here. I mean, we've got 2 onions, we've got carrots, we've got spinach. It's a fantastic meal, and Cassidy loves hers. We can't get it on her tray fast enough. The faster we cut it up and cool it, it just disappears. Hope you guys enjoy.